Alright, so I promise that this is the last terrible meme Stoneforge deck that I accepted, and the rest of the decks we're going to play today are decks that I've not only put together myself, but are ones that I'm kind of excited to play because they might be fine. So, this deck has Puresteel Paladin here, which notably lets you equip equipments for 0 if you have Metalcraft. And then we've got Colossus Hammer here, which gives +10/+10. We have Sigarda's Aid, which lets you play your equipment with Flash and equip them right away. And then we've got Stoneforge Mystic to fetch up Swiftfoot Boots and different swords, and a Batterskull, and an Argentum Armor. And, yeah, you know, let's go ahead and dive on into some matches and see how this goes. Remember, chat, the key to not being disappointed in life is having low expectations, so expect very little and sometimes you'll be surprised. This double striking 1/1. This one right here. Yeah, I guess there's technically Goblin Welder in here too. Yeah, this is Marty's list. Oh, 1 mana double striking 1/1. Eh. I feel like I missed Spam Blocker. Did I? I don't remember if I mentioned it. At any rate, Spam Blocker. Sorry if I missed that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Sand just needs a creature, right? Are you ready? Bonesaw is ready. We're going to hold on to the zeros because if we draw a Sram or whatever, we can draw some cards with those. Look at that. Straight busted, chat. They have turn 3 Tron. I have turn 3 Stoneforge Mystic, chat. How could they ever possibly hope to win? I heard that Stoneforge Mystic is too strong for Modern. I don't know how my opponent's deck could ever possibly keep up with us. Oh, they've elected to put 4/4s in their deck. Imagine going through the effort of assembling Tron and then concluding what you want to do is cast Thought-Knot Seer. Just imagine for a moment here that there are people that's a decision that they've made with their lives. Alright, we need another white sword for this Puresteel Paladin. Morning, Cajun guy. Oh, no! Oh, no! That's so sad. Couldn't I have smashed for 22? Take a 10-minute break. Mantle would let me play Paladin, wouldn't it? It's a good call. This also works, though. Are you ready? Bonesaw is ready. We Cheerios now, boys and girls. I wonder if they're gonna crank this blast zone up to 2. Our Cheerios are now Stoneforge Mystic flavored, right? So, I don't know that we accomplished anything particularly useful, but we did some stuff here. We spun our tires a little bit. We drew some cards. They did not tick Blast Zone up. Interesting. Mystic Forge. Okay. Could have re-equipped the hammer. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't really matter, though, because they have Blast Zone. Hey, thanks for the 10 months to drop. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it's a Mystic Mirror match. Is there a sword of colorless protection? Why isn't there a sword of colorless protection, chat? Destroy each 1-cost thing. Sure. Don't lock up, Moto. I'm trying to search my deck. I think we're getting Trailblazer's boots here, right? Is that the play? I think that's the play. Give this haste. Let it make mana. My armor is gone. I got armor earlier and they thought not steered it. Sword of colorless protection would make itself fall off. What a tilt. Give me Bitter Blossom for one tournament. I'll show you why it's banned. Yeah. People had strong visceral reactions about Bitter Blossom. They had strong reactions about Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, all of these cards that just again and again and again, these Magic players who have a lot of experience were just very wrong about. Oh no! They're taking my hammer, chat. That's so rude. Would have been better to just cast Boots. Why? So I have a blocker? Oh, yikes. Second Chalice actually probably does this in here. Yeah, Magic players just seem largely incapable of understanding that the power level of cards is contextual. Yeah, we played the awful Caw-Blade deck that's in the deck queue. We O2'd with it and we moved on to other things. Yeah, I think the Chalice on 2 kills us here. Yeah, Stoneforge Mystic doesn't magically make things that are unplayable not unplayable. It's probably a Path to Exile matchup. Hazoret seems pretty good here. I don't know that I want these cards because I feel like my opponent this game is going to be like putting Chalice on 2 more proactively. Is it crazy to cut Goblin Engineer? I think I'm going to cut Goblin Engineer. And like a Bone Saw maybe. Jeff out there jinx shaming. If you think me telling you your bad deck is still bad as jinx shaming, you got problems. I'm just being honest with you. If you love your deck, you should play it, but you should also be realistic about how good or bad it is. Temper your expectations and be realistic. Wolfwood, thanks for the 12 months of Prime support. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday wherever you are. It's okay to like playing bad decks. Just own it for what it is. Do we bring in Damping Sphere? Nah, I don't think Damping Sphere is good enough in this matchup. If we were playing against Greentron... Alright, new, and not even new rules, just for, since we're back in Modern Town, and Modern tends to annoy me, I know we're in sub-only chat, but we're gonna play by the old Hoaglandia rules today. So if you want to tell me I did something wrong, and you don't tell me why the thing I did was actually wrong, you're gonna get a 10-minute timeout. So be constructive and specific. Or you're gonna take a break. Tracks! From Kiki to Crocs, then Elves and Pod Bombs. Now maybe we get to Meatball again. Thanks for the 3 years. I appreciate it. The Weather Lady, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Morning, Scooter. The Mike Arnold, thank you for the 2/3 of a year of support. I appreciate that. I'm frequently wrong. Just ask my wife. But you better give me a reason for why is all I'm saying. If you're not giving me a reason why I'm wrong, you're not being helpful, you're just being hateful. And being hateful is not welcome here. Sword of War and Peace in hand makes me think that's one of them, Jake. Yeah, the Colossus Hammer gives that away too. Yeah, Stoneforge Mystic lets us put the Argentum Armor into play. Do it now while they can't dismember. That's a good suggestion. That ship has sailed. But look at how constructive and specific that suggestion is. That's a great example of how to do things. I appreciate you. Did they not read Sigarda's aid? We used it last game. So I can hit them for 17. Yeah, that's probably the play, right? Actually, I probably want to kill their Eldrazi Temple because I don't want to get all is dusted next turn, right? Like, the answer to how do I lose this game is get all is dusted. Yeah, I agree, Justin. So let's just, like, prevent that from happening. Voltron has been assembled here. Yes, in the Magic rules, if something says you gain something and something says you lose something, the lose something always wins. Build your own abyss, yep. Let's tweet a picture of our Voltron. All right, on to game the third. And that was a game where they turned 2 Thought-Knot Seared us too, which is sweet. How's Stoneforge Mystic been? Aggressively middling. We'll see what our opponent is able to assemble. Oh, they don't have turn 3 Tron. That's exciting. That's exciting. I think I just get a hammer here since I have the Puresteel Paladin. we don't have Tron either. Morning, Bobby. My experience watching Stoneforge Mystic decks so far is mostly the Karn Father showing them no mercy. Yeah, that's accurate. Oh no! What a tilt. Wow, that's like really unfortunate. Modern still gonna modern. My experience with Stoneforge Mystic is that's very good, the Stoneforge Mystic mirror. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is very good in the mirror. I agree with that sentiment. Well, we're one land away from casting Batterskull. Depending on how good the rest of their hand is, we might have a shot. Yeah, I mean, Tron's definitely the deck to beat in Modern right now. There's always a best deck, chat. When you kick the legs out from underneath one best deck, there's always another one lined up and ready to go. That's just how Magic works. Before you do things like playing cards where equipment destroy equipment, you need to understand that, like, while there's going to be a lot of Stoneforge Mystic mirrors in Magic Online right now, that's not going to be indicative of, like, what the next tournament this weekend's going to look like. While there are certainly going to be people that register it there because they love Stoneforge Mystic, it's one, even if Stoneforge Mystic is good, going to take a little bit for people to figure out exactly where it's best. And two, Modern's a format where there's so many people playing so many different things that you don't want to get super inbred against one archetype because there's still going to be 20 things in any given tournament. 20, 30, 40 things. It costs $300 to get a playset this week. That'll dissuade a lot of people. Yeah, that too. And again, like, I think something people don't consider is, especially in a format like Modern, it isn't just as simple as saying, oh, I need to pay money to get these new cards. It's not just a dollar amount that you have to invest to change decks in Modern. There is a time and knowledge commitment that you have to invest as well. You have to learn the ins and outs of playing your new deck. That is not free. That comes at a very real cost. Yeah, there's a lot of people like DTP. They own one Modern deck, and that's the one they're going to play. And a lot of people who their only Modern deck had... a lot of people whose only Modern deck had... what's it called in it? Faithless Looting. They're just going to swap out of their cards for that. Yeah, I think that's very accurate, Cajun Guy. I think you're going to see a lot of folks clamoring to try new things, and then, like, reality sets in and people realize, like, oh, this is like still about the same as before. I mean, like, better than Jason BBE is a super low bar, though, Bob. I think you're right, it might be, but I think you're also right, once people realize they have some more sideboard slots, there's Ancient Grudges, and there's Abrades, there's Culligan's Commands, there's just so many good, efficient answers, right? And, like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that Stoneforge Mystic is gonna be, like, Valakut playable and Fringe, at very least Fringe playable like Bitter Blossom, right? So, like, if you really like the card, you're certainly going to be able to play competitive games of Magic with it. It's just people who have frequently talked about, like, the sky was going to be falling because Stoneforge Mystic came down from on high. I think those people are silly. Hey, thanks for the 17-month Scooter. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Doomblading Stoneforge Mystic, not very good. That depends on your deck, Bob. Like, Doomblading Stoneforge Mystic and Burn, probably pretty good. Doomblading Stoneforge Mystic in a controller mid-range mirror, much less good. Hey, Rhino, thanks for the 2/3 of your support. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Return target artifact with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this cannot reanimate a Batterskull. That is not how Magic the Gathering works. Gift Sun giving, yep. Hey, look. My opponent had a combo that wasn't even very good and still slaughtered us. Because it's slow and mopey. Yeah, Esper Obsidat's kind of sweet. Also, Obsidat plus 3 mana Teferi is hilarious. Is all I'm gonna say. Esper 3 mana Teferi plus Obsidat sounds awesome. I'd like these copies of Path to Exile. So for those that aren't familiar with Modern and are wondering why I conceded there, my opponent was going to put the card Elishnorn Grand Cenobite into play on their next turn, which gives all opposing creatures -2/-2 as a static effect. Half a year celebrated by Stoneforge Mystic's release from prison. Thank you for the half a year, Togobogle. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, sounds fine. I did not invest in sound effects for Magic Online. I think my children are gone, so I can open the door to my office again. Jake's school had a late start this morning, so they were running around when I signed on. Morning, Vonin. Happy Wednesday. If there are any folks here that are waiting for standard stuff, as a heads up, we're not doing any standard today. We may or may not do standard tomorrow and Friday, depending on how the rest of today goes, but if the last few decks we played today seem reasonable, I'm probably going to do all modern the rest of this week. My schedule for tomorrow and Friday are currently empty, because I don't know exactly what I'm filling in with what. I'm not sure what there is to be confused about, Tedio. Am I planning on doing all Stoneforge Mystic decks this week, or are you going to try other decks? No, I'm going to try other decks. I actually really want to play Obsidat is good with 3 mana Teferi because Obsidat exiles itself at your end of turn. So you just always return it. You just always exile it, and then they can never kill it. Because they can't cast spells on your turn. I'm looking forward to playing blue-red tempo, actually. I'd like to play some more Twiddlestorm as well, so if we do Modern the rest of the week, it will not be all Stoneforge Mystic decks, no. Sigarda's Aid coming in clutch here a little bit. Yeah, don't let your memes be dreams. Oh no! I let them discard on burial rites. Yikes. What are my thoughts on Twiddlestorm? I don't have a strong opinion on what specific list I would run, but after we played it last time, I was really impressed with it. It was the best new combo deck I've played in a long time in Modern. Yeah, I mean, we frequently talk about how the key to enjoying any format in Magic is like having decks that you want to play. And I genuinely was not interested in playing basically anything in Modern before the changes happened. Stoneforge can fetch Cranial Plating, which is sweet. This is potentially lethal if they don't have a removal spell. And I have Hexproof. Are they dead? Because this is fetching a hammer. I guess they could have an Abrupt Decay for Sigarda's Aid. But it's definitely hammer time. Is Twiddlestorm not cumbersome to play on MTGO like Devoted Druid? So, it's a little tedious to play, but it's different from Devoted Druid in the fact that you're not just sitting there doing something deterministic, if that makes sense. So like with Twiddlestorm, you're actually making decisions while you play. We frequently get close to 1,000 with Moto. Anything north of that tends to be a little abnormal, but we were clipping into 1,000 before we picked up Arena. Yeah, Twiddlestorm is very difficult to interact with because it doesn't involve creatures. Alright, so there's an Eternal Witness. We're going to see them pick Nature's Champ back up. Yep. This is Modern staple Trailblazer's Boots here. So they have a disenchant up here that they get to cast, but the engineer just lets me swap this Sword of Feast and Famine for the Sword of Light and Shadow. I guess this technically lets them trade for the Stoneforge. They destroyed Sigarda's Aid. Yeah, that's a fair, it's a fair return. Morning, dude light. Yeah, Gifts Ungiven is an incredibly sweet, mopey thing to be doing. Land. If we'd have hit an untapped land there, we would have gotten to equip this and Trailblazer's boots, which would have been really strong. Let's fix that. Have a sword von in. Oh, this is a Stoneforge Mystic mirror match, sure. I know they have the Naturalize in their hand, but I'm going to go ahead and swap this back in here. I think this is fine. Would you like to naturalize something? Because we know they have another Destroy Turn Artifact or Enchantment in their hand from the Eternal Witness. Morning, Master Will. Yep. So I think I shock this in and just go like equip, smack you for 3, pick a Stoneforge Mystic back up out of my bin. And then next turn, the boss did agree to a long stream. So the goal is to go for about 10 hours today. Which, if you're used to the standard streams, the deck title doesn't look like it's that long, but Magic Online and Modern take a long time. My job comes with overtime in a roundabout way. Are they really not getting Batterskull into play this turn? Am I doing any Warhammer Champions today? I'm not. I was planning on it at one point, but with the Stoneforge Mystic unbanned, I'm just going to do all Modern today. So Stoneforge. I think I'm just going to grab a Sword of War in piece here. And then I'm going to equip this one to give it haste. And then smack them with the unblockable one since they have a non-basic land. I'm cautiously optimistic for Modern. Cautiously optimistic. I feel like is an apt description of my current feelings. Man, modern staple Trailblazers boots here. I don't know. I think good decks in Modern can beat Tron if they want to. Or, like, have a reasonable matchup there. Like, the Jeskai Blade deck, the next 3 decks today, I think all have okay green Tron matchups. If you build them properly. This deck is not good. It's kind of sweet, but it's very bad. How much would it cost to get red-black Skelementals played today? That deck has to be replaced or removed from the queue. Because it doesn't have Faithful Suiting anymore, Scooter. And I'm not playing non-Stoneforge decks today. So the person who submitted that still has to get back to me on if they want a new deck or that same one still. I would like to kill you with my unblockable creature now, please. These boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. So, I think it's incredibly arrogant and short-sighted to approach any existing Magic format with the idea that that format needs to be fixed. If you don't like playing a given Magic format, that's fine. Don't go around and campaign for it to be different. Just play something else instead. I agree that on average, Legacy tends to be kind of repetitive in terms of play patterns. Because there's a very specific subset of decks that tends to be good in that format. But that's fine. That just means I don't play much Legacy. If you also feel that way, you should just play other things. One of the things that makes Magic great is the fact that it's so many different games all tied up under the same banner. Yeah, if you want me to play a deck today without Stoneforge Mystic in it, it's gonna need a fat pile of money. Fatter than the normal cut the line price. Wow, Statistic. Your account was created in October of 2010. It's a long time. It's a long time. Long time coming. I assume this is gonna die. How fat things I need to know. Let's say 500. And yes, that number is absurd because I'd prefer if we only play Stoneforge Mystic decks today. Would Blood Moon be good in the sideboard against Tron, or are Damping Spheres enough? Hot take. Blood Moon's not good against Tron. That's not even a hot take. That's just a reasonable take. What's good against Tron is any kind of disruption backed up by a clock. People that think Blood Moon is good against Tron need to read the card Oblivion Stone again. I'd really like to draw a land here so we can go Puresteel Paladin into Trailblazer's Boots, draw 2. Although that also allows that to happen, right? Dying slower is kind of like winning. Yep, that's one take on that. That's a pretty good one. Look at that, boys and girls. We Cheerios now. Actual factual Cheerios. Oh, this equips for 0. Well, that's great. Do I just cast Stoneforge Mystic here now? I think I want to just cast Stoneforge Mystic. I'm gonna get Feast and Famine. I'm gonna get Feast and Famine. Oh, I should have equipped everything, right? Yeah, these are free. Why didn't I equip the hammer? Shh. It's been a long day, he says at the beginning of the day. It's fine. This might encourage them to, like, trophy the Paladin. And if they trophy the Paladin, I have another one. It's the first Stoneforge Mystic League. No, we started at 7 a.m. We played a really awful Cobblade deck to start the day. Squadron Hawk's not really a constructed playable card anymore. Next turn, we win if they don't interact. Yes, but we know they have an Assassin's Trophy. But yeah, so, like, they can't just, like, give Sun Given this turn, which is great. They casting Wrath of God. Winning Damnation. Smells like Damnation. Basically Damnation. Oh, jeez. If I'd have equipped the hammer, that wouldn't have happened to one of my guys. Yikes. Yikes. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I don't have any haste things yet, right? That's sad. Can I draw haste boots? Rats. Do we give it pro black? Huh, maybe that was the line? Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe I should have just dropped... Maybe I should have drawn one less card and just dropped a sword on it. Yeah, I think you're correct. So, we probably would have won this game if I hadn't messed up. Yeah, it would make them trophy the sword, then they die to the 22-22. I like it. That was Dead of Winter. So, yeah. That's a pretty good one. So, I think we would have won if I would have remembered to equip the hammer 2 turns ago. But I didn't, so we're not. Moniz, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Yeah, if they don't have double removal, there's a chance they die because we drew this other paladin. Another Liliana does it. Okay. I'm gonna grab Batterskull because it's an individually powerful card. I'm gonna play this Engineer out. I'm gonna ditch a sword into there. I'm gonna go ahead and equip Feast and Famine to the Stoneforge Mystic, so that way it's protected. I don't think I need a second Path to Exile here. I'm through 3 Puresteels. There's a pretty good chance that, Oh, that's true. Sword of Light and Shadow gets us the Paladin back. That's a really good call. Pants for the Pants God. Otto Von Hag, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Let's get some post-looting Grishelbrand. Sounds good. Thanks for keeping me around. Do you think Twin would do well in Modern? I think Twin would put up results because people would play it regardless of if it's good or not. I am incredibly surprised that they let this happen. I'm gonna go ahead. Am I gonna activate this engineer? Do I want to swap out Paradise Mantle for Sword of War and Peace? I think so. I kind of just want to hold it up, I think, though. I think I was going to hold it up. Okay. Gifts ungiven resolves, question mark. Leonad, thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. For having a wonderful Wednesday wherever you are. So I give them Unburial Rites and Terastodon. Oh, and then this trigger is going to let them discard one of them. All right, that makes sense, though. Because they still need to draw a land then, right? Oh, I could have binned the Unburial Rites and made them need exactly white. That's a good thought. Oh, they can just use Lily to bin it. That's true. All right, and let's not mess up this time and equip everything here while we're thinking about it. So, like, I have this path. So, like, if they kill a bunch of my stuff, I get to attack them still. So, like, I feel like unless we're getting damnationed here, we're in a pretty okay spot. I sacrifice a creature. I think it's Stoneforge Mystic, right? Yeah, they're conceding. The Stoneforge was tapped, silly cheese. Did we just win a match with this? That feels strange and wrong. It feels unnatural. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. Did we win any? No, this deck has now done better than Callblade. Of course, this deck doesn't have terrible cards like Jace the Mind Sculptor in it, so there's probably a reason for that. Dirk, thank you for the third of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Happy Wednesday. The Puresteel and Sram is just drawing a bunch of cards. Has been good a few times. Which will change Modern more, Stoneforge or Jace? Probably Stoneforge. Being better than Jace is a low bar. Jace is pretty bad in this format. I'm going to keep this on the draw. Just needs a second land. Hey, Dazer, thanks for the 10 months. Twin is next. Here's hoping. WotC made 2 of my 6 requested changes for Modern. So obviously that means they're going to make all my other changes, right? They did 2 of the 6 things I would do. I can only assume the other 4 are coming. Oh no! Not an opponent who's gonna kill us in a brutal and efficient manner instead of dirtling around with bad cards like Stoneforge Mystic and Gifts Ungiven. Oh wait, Renin 6. Maybe they are going to dirtle with Stoneforge Mystic. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This could be a card that Valakut Titan reasonably plays, though. It is in fact Valakut. Why would I cast Mantle when I could wait and draw a card with it? All we're saying, Jeff, is it only takes one more catastrophic design mistake to get to an unbanned. We're sorry we printed Hagak. Here, have some Stoneforge Mystics. Yeah, Jace will ruin Modern. Bitter Blossom will ruin Modern. Sword of the Meek will ruin Modern. Like, I don't know. It's just, a Modern is always ruined all of the time. Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead. They got some standard in my Modern, chat. They got some standard in my Modern. Look at this, chat. I'm hitting them with a Sword of Feast and Famine. They're going to experience a famine. How could my opponent ever possibly win while they're experiencing a famine? Right. Next turn is hammer time. Assuming there's a next turn. Hey chat, there's a good chance there won't be a next turn. What? Are we getting mountains yet? If they get 2 mountains here, Wooded Foothills can deal 3. So my opponent messed up here. They should have fetched a red first and then Hour of Promise, so they could have dealt 6. Yeah, Field of the Dead seems sweet and Amulet Titan. Oh, they hadn't played a land yet for the turn. That makes a lot of sense. No, their Valakut the Molten Pinnacle is online, so they're going to start killing my creatures here. What literal hell did I just walk into? It's a question I'm asking myself, Bob. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. Need to draw a Blood Boon. Yep, right, Garrett on that. Did they just mess up and die? I don't know why they didn't kill my Sram. But they didn't, so it's hammer time? I think we just pulled a sneaky on him. Someone call the police because there's been a robbery. Man, this Stoneforge Mystic card is busted, chat. This Stoneforge Mystic card is busted. Stop. Hammer time. Would you look at that? My opponent took their linear combo deck and made it more mid-rangey by adding Field of the Dead, and then they died because they made their deck more mid-rangey. The key lesson I would like everyone to take away here is that making your combo deck slower and more interactive is almost never the answer in Modern. I had a Sword of Feast and Famine, which gives protection from green and black. Yeah, Hazoret's a sweet card for increased threat density. In the matchups where people are going to kill a bunch of our stuff. What do you think of the new Modern Horizons lands that draw cards? They're great. Does anybody think they're not great? They slot into a lot of different decks. There's a reason why Horizon Canopy was a card that people played so much. Very, very powerful effect. Hey, Guy Entropy. Thank you for the 8 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. I'm going to wait on casting the hammer because we could draw a card that lets the hammer draw a card, and we could draw a card that lets the hammer equip itself, which is nice. So we are dead to 6 landscape shift here because they have a Prismatic Omen. So we'll wait and see. What does Sinew and Steel do? 6 shift is only 18. No, Squid Squad. It deals 12 damage per land because of Prismatic Omen. I don't think Sword of Sinew and Steel is playable. Prismatic Omens make everything mountains, including the Valakuts. So the hope here is 1, that their hand is bad, and 2, that we draw a way to equip this Colossus Hammer next turn so we can smack with a very large germ and gain a bunch of life. Yep. I gotta say, I'm rather disappointed here. The masterminds on Reddit assured me that Stoneforge Mystic was too good for this format, so I assumed I was going to win that game where I put that turn 3 Batterskull into play. Because that's clearly busted. That's what people have been pushing back on for a long time. This is the second deck. The first one was a bigger dumpster fire than this one. It's a pretty good turn for next turn. The first dumpster fire is blue-white Caw-Blade. I really like how the busted thing this deck is doing has nothing to do with Stoneforge Mystic. It's like, and the actual good thing in our deck is this. What Stoneforge Mystic emote? We have a Stoneforge Mystic emote? I don't remember a Stoneforge Mystic emote. Thanks for the 8 months, Logan. I appreciate it. Welcome back. See, chat? This is how you beat good combo decks in Modern. It's not by casting Stoneforge Mystic on 2 and putting Batterskull into play on 3. It's by doing something truly linear and obnoxious. Oh gosh, how are we? We're somehow 2-1 by mistake. I feel like a mistake's been made. I did not spend a lot of time working with Mathematica. There were a couple of open source computer algebra systems that I spent a little bit more time using. What were they? I think it was WX Maxima was one of them. If you Google, there's a few of them. They have similar syntax, but not exactly the same. Last time we kept a one-lander, it didn't work out, so that means we're due this time, right? Yeah, if they unban Twin, we'll put Birthing Pod behind bars. If they unban Twin and Pod, that emote is just going to get turned into a heart with the letters WotC written in it, because it means they really do love us. Means they care, chat. I got bopped by this hammer deck in the Modern Challenge at SCG. They got me on turn 3, games 1 and 2. Yikes. Are you ready? Bonesaw is ready. We're gonna like Lily on it here and be really sad. Hopefully they just like play a Tireless Tracker or go for a Scooz or something. Perfect. If they don't have Fatal Push here, we're gonna be in a really good spot. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, well. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. They didn't have a Liliana the Veil last turn, so hopefully they don't have one this turn. What's the argument for unbanning Birthing Pod? Birthing Pod is an incredibly sweet card that lots of people would enjoy playing, that is by no means too powerful for the format. Birthing Pod is fun and interesting. Oh no! Oh no! Not a black source. Oh wait, can we kill them? They're dead, right? If they don't have a removal spell here? Because we get Sword of Feast and Famine? And I get to slide the boots over to here. Oh, Ooze can eat the sword. That's unfortunate. Rats. Rats. Alright, back where you belong, Boots. That's fine. The Engineer insulates us from an Edict effect, so that's fine. You ooze, you lose, chat. Spin to win. Spin to win. Woohoo! Very nice, very nice. Yeah, they have to double chump block next turn because the Batterskull gets to attack too. Not only that, but I get to put 2 extra power on here. This is optional to equip, right? Yeah, no. I would like to draw. Are you ready? Bonesaw is ready. So they have to block here, and then they go to 1, which turns off their peatland. We have 3 lethal attackers. Oh yeah, I totally missed lethal. If I put the hammer on here and leave the bone saws here, they die, right? Yeah, good call, good catch. I appreciate that. You keep quoting Spider-Man. Listen, Spider-Man is excellent, okay? That's all I'm saying. Stoneforge Mystic, too good, please nerf, right? Alright, so I definitely want my Hazorets. I don't think I want Path to Exile. Abel, thanks for 3/4 of a year of support. I appreciate that. We need to cut 2 cards here. Argentum Armor is probably too slow and clunky in this matchup. And then it's probably like a Bone Saw. It's probably a Bone Saw. Let's do that. We came here to watch Broken Stoneforge do work. What is this totally fair Paladin? Yup. Yup. To be fair, they Inquisitioned my Stoneforge that game. So, like, they could have potentially died to Stoneforge if they hadn't Inquisitioned it. Yeah, Sand's great. I wish I could take credit for this one, but aside from the sideboard, this was 100% Marty's list. Main deck is card for card what he sent in. Maybe I changed the mana. I don't even think I changed the mana. I don't remember. It's probably card for card what he sent in. The 0 equips just to turn on Paladin faster. Yeah, they are. That's the general idea behind it. They also have like random utility and they let you cycle through and draw extra cards, which is nice. So there goes my Sword of Feast and Famine. Again, I'm holding on to the Paradise Mantle because if I draw a Puresteel Paladin or a Sram, this can draw a card. And it's free to play out later. Can't we make a deck that plays turn 2 Batterskull? Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically Mox Opal out Stoneforge Mystic. We actually talked about Stoneforge Mystic inside of Affinity. That's probably a reasonable thing to try. You could Simian Spirit Guided too, but I think just like putting Stoneforge Mystic into an Affinity shell is probably great. Would Mox Opal be better than Bonesaw? No, Mox Opal doesn't draw cards. Mox Opal doesn't draw cards with the 6 paladins and stuff like that. Which has been super relevant so far. So they missed their 3rd land drop. They hit it now. And now they're going to hit the rest of them. Oh, they didn't miss their land drop. They cycled a peat land. That makes sense. I think we'll see a resurgence of tier 1 fair strategies in Modern. I think there's always been a surgence of tier 1 fair strategies. Not as, tiers are hard to judge because we don't have objective measurements in Magic. But people have always played fair decks because people just play what they like because that's how Magic works. I assume this is just gonna die, but, you know, here we are. This unfortunately doesn't draw till it enters play. Really? Okay, deal. Genuinely surprised that that happened. I got to draw a card. Getting to cycle these is good for us. Yeah, Swiftfoot Boots is definitely not bad. I'm just gonna do this. Go. I don't know, if they had Liliana the Veil, I feel like they would have played it to, like, get it going to, like, chew through my hand. Weird. I'm gonna throw the unblockable boots in the bin. What's the deaths in Batterskull in hand count up to? I don't know, actually. Not that many. And thanks for the 17 months of the very generous tier 2 at that. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, go. That's true. I think we've died with it in play more than we've died with it in hand. Please miss. Please miss. Please miss. That's a miss. They just, like, want it in their graveyard? Sure. Hey, Nifty, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, do I just cycle? I think I just cycle this. That's pretty good. Woo, buddy. Oh, buddy, old pal. Thank you for the 32 months holidays. I hear there are meme decks. There's something. Was that game 2? I think that was game 2. Are we going to game 3 now? No, was that the match? We won the match? We 2-0 Jund? We 2-0 Jund? I'm so confused. We two. Oh. I don't understand, chat. Their Renin 6 costs $100. Isn't their deck good because Renin 6 costs $100? Renin 6 wouldn't cost $100 if it was bad, chat. Sure. According to Stream Decker, 4 Stoneforge Mystics is $700. What does Cool Stuff Inc. have to say about that? Do they have any in stock? What do they look like? They're out of stock. I guess that doesn't surprise me. We're winning. We have been winning thanks to the hammer. It's definitely, this deck's definitely been about hammer time and not about Stoneforge Mystic. What did we lose to round 1? I don't remember. Been watching for almost 3 hours and no shield break. That's a good point. That's a good point. A lot of people are going to watch this video. Let's put a shield break in it. How we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely a channel for you. We play Modern and Standard, as well as occasionally Legacy. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day to day without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements of everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell Magic online cards with you. For someone that's looking to dive into Modern with the changes, you can use code Hoagland PayPal with them to get 8% on all of your singles purchases. Save 8% on your singles purchases there with them. Whoa Duels is the online peer-to-peer wagering network where you can play other gamers in Magic for money. You get some free coins just for signing up for your account, and they also do free daily tournaments as well as monthly giveaways. And, of course,
don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
Oh, opponent led on Blast Zone. Someone asked the first match we lost to Eldrazi, which this could be Eldrazi again. Could be another form, could be Greentron. Could be Amulet Titan. Looks like Amulet Titan. So I'm gonna go get Argentum Armor here. Because Batterskull's not gonna race and we have Sigarda's aid, so we'd like to just depending on how fast their start is, this Argentum Armor being a Vindicate every turn could be good enough to win the game here. Do you use second Stoneforge Mystic to get Hammer and Smash? Yeah, definitely. Oh. Huh. Well. I would like to draw some cards. Do-da, do-da. Bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Beep 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 beep. Do-do-do-do-do. So do we just cast Swiftblade Vindicator here then? And like hope to kill them next turn? I think that's probably not an unreasonable plan, huh? We've not cast Swiftblade Vindicator yet this league. Yeah, we Swiftblade, and then Stoneforge can get a hammer, and we can hammer equip. I was having kind of a bad morning on Monday, so I didn't really have my big over-the-top reaction that I've had to a lot of other good banlist news in the past. So. Sorry to disappoint a small amount. Man, are they dead or are they super dead? They're probably pretty dead. Yeah, I'm all right. So we get to do this, fetch a hammer. And then we get to equip the hammer and the armor here. I'm arguing with a person under the bandwagon video after they said the Stoneforge Mystic was an unfair card. I'm going to give you the best piece of advice you're ever going to hear, Zuck Attack. Block or mute and move on with your life. There are a lot of people that are too stupid to ever be worth your time to interact with. Hey, thanks for being here, Twister. Hope you're having a good Wednesday wherever you are. I mean, having a discussion of viewpoints comes from the basis of you think people can be swayed by base logic and reasoning, and a lot of people are just talking with their feelings, so it's just not worth the time. All right, and then I have 4 copies of Damping Sphere, right? So let's do that. I think I'm going to trim Sword of War and Peace. Is it crazy to trim Goblin Engineer just because it's probably too slow? Oh, Engineer finds Sphere. That's true. Do I trim some of the zeros because they're awkward with Damping Sphere? I could see that. Do I need 2 Swiftfoot Boots? Yeah, you think I only want Feast and Famine? Yeah, this is probably the only sword that I want. Yeah, that's probably true. Let's do that. Cut 2 swords and 2 bone saws for 4 spheres. Yeah, sure, they have Bajuka Bog, but, like, that's not a reason to cut the Goblin Engineer, I don't think. Yeah, I think I agree with that, Bob. The swords are mostly good when they're unblockable. Giving unblockable. Hello, Marion. Thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. We're having a fantabulous Wednesday wherever you are. Happy Stoneforge Mystic Freedom Day, chat. Do we care about Azusa and want Helix? I mean, I obviously don't think I care about Azusa and don't want Helix. That's why I didn't board it in. If you'd like to form an argument for why you think I should have that, I'd be willing to hear it. I also think Helix is much worse than Abrade if I wanted that type of effect because Abrade can kill Amulet. So this hand's a little bit speculative, but it's pretty reasonable if we hit a second land, so I'm going to keep it. The boss approved a long stream. I don't know if I'm going to do 12 hours. My goal is 10, I think. The odds of them... I think I'm supposed to just Paladin. I think I'm supposed to Paladin and then try and Damping Sphere next turn. Because, like, if I Damping Sphere first, my clock is just so incredibly slow. Because remember, Damping Sphere is symmetrical. Hey, Clay Walk, thanks for the 12 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Wow, we drew another hammer here, too. Yeah, now if they don't have a blocker, we can kill them. All right, so, well, I can't kill them through a blocker because I can't cast Hammer Boots because they're at 20. Yep. So we want to hammer first. Today is an all Stoneforge day. That is correct. Yep. And now we hammer plus sphere, because my opponent's pretty likely to tighten next turn if we don't sphere. And then next turn, because we have the 4th land, we can go Trailblazer Boots, Colossus Hammer. They could still tighten us this turn, but even if they tighten us this turn, if they're not killing... Oh, I guess they can Blast Zone us. They can Blast Zone us off the hammer, right? Which is probably what we're going to see. Yeah, I'm excited for the Vanifear list. The next 2 decks, Jeskai Blade and Vanifear, are ones that I worked on. And then Devoted Blade is Bob and Burgle's deck. Hey, Nifty, happy Stoneforge Day to you. Hopefully they just cast a Primeval Titan here and then we untap and kill them with Trailblazer's Boots. Please be dead to 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 Trailblazer's Boots. Modern staple Trailblazer's Boots here. So, when Modern was first created, Silver Star, that's a good question. So the question is, for those not familiar with Modern Magic's history, why was Stoneforge banned in the first place? So when Modern was initially created, Wizards of the Coast just snap banned every card that was good in previous Standard and Extended formats. So there were cards like Bitter Blossom and Stoneforge Mystic that were just never given a chance. Because, and again, the big reason that I take issue with that is because banning like that fails to ignore, yeah, Jace was banned too, fails to ignore the fact, or account for the fact that the power level of Magic cards is contextual to the format in which they're being played in. So, like, just because something was too good in a different format doesn't mean it's too good in this bigger format. Oh no! They're coming for our memes, chat. They're coming for our memes. Hide your memes, chat. Hide your memes. That's fine. We get to be on the play for the 3rd game. So it was completely preemptive, and we never saw how strong they'd be against Modern competition. Yeah, that's exactly correct. So they've been banned for... Has Modern been around for a decade yet? I feel like close to a decade. Been banned for a while. Oh, I should have equipped something. Whatever. We're probably dead. Hey, Peace God MC, thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, almost 10 years. I love 2 days ago when we had a command saying no more moto and today's an all-day stream. Magic is funny, isn't it? It really is, Lorwyn Soldier. The key to Magic is having decks in formats that you enjoy playing, for sure. I appreciate the 12 months of support. Thanks for keeping me around. So the sets Modern encompasses go back more than 8 or 9 years, but Modern as a format only existed for 8 to 9 years. What year is it, right? What year is it? What is going on? If we rip a Puresteel Paladin, I can go Paladin into Boots, into Equip, kill with the Engineer potentially. Assuming they don't have any interaction. Oh, I guess they have Blast Zone. We're probably dead here, right? Because of the Blast Zone. A Summoner's Pacted for second Primeval Titan. Okay. Would you prefer they preemptively ban something like Nexus of Fate? No, I think they should preemptively ban something like Nexus of Fate. I think a card like Nexus of Fate should be banned not for power level reasons, but for quality of play reasons. Nexus of Fate should not be legal because it generates awful games of Magic the Gathering. That's why Nexus of Fate shouldn't be legal. Oh, they have enough to get the double strike land inactivated here, right? Yeah, let's make sure they have it, I guess. Yeah, same reason Punishing Fire's out. I wouldn't mind Teferi being gone because it generates rancid games of Magic. It would be really nice to have a constructed format on Arena where 3-mana Teferi wasn't legal. But I doubt we'll see them ban that one because it's still standard legal. Yeah, I don't think I want to bring in Path to Exile on this matchup. I think just 4 Damping Spheres is enough interaction. I just want to try and race them a little bit here. No. There are a number of Nexus decks that do not play Reclamation that are just as obnoxious. The types of gameplay patterns that Nexus generates are awful. Get rid of it. Has nothing to do with power level, and everything to do. Historic is going to have a best of 3 queue. That was in the announcement. It's not going to have a ranked ladder, but it will have a queue in which you can play best of 3. This might be too slow. Yeah, I agree. The more I interact with the Arena ladder, the more I prefer the constructed events and motive. I actually posted a tweet the other day talking about how I greatly prefer how Arena structures, or how Magic Online structures their Magic Online Championship Series compared to how Arena structures things. Honestly, I don't even care if there's a historic ranked ladder. The more I play on the ladder, the less I find it enjoyable. Really not a fan. I think careful study would be fine. Not flashing back is a big deal. Would like this Batterskull, please. And the next turn, we can cast the other Stoneforge Mystic and put Batterskull into play. The other Stoneforge Mystic will fetch up Sword of Feast and Famine. Am I not a fan of the ladder or the decks that I play on the ladder? No, even when I'm sitting there playing decks that I like that are good, I'm not a fan of ladder play. Ladder ranking is not an accurate measure of skill. It is a measure of, can you win enough games in a particular order that's favorable to you, and then hope that other people don't do the same. The ladder system actively discourages you from playing Magic at a certain point if you're playing optimally, and I think any system that discourages people from playing Magic should be re-examined and asked, is this what you want? Azumael, thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Do you have ideas on how they could improve the ladder? Yeah, I would use the ladder as a qualification thing for other bigger tournaments. Like, have it so, for instance, the ladder, there's a monthly tournament or a weekly tournament where you have to just be mythic to play in it. You could also just structure things similar to how they're structured on Magic Online, where you just earn qualifier points and you get to play in something once you earn enough qualifier points. There's a good chance we're dead next turn. If we don't die, though, the fact that we hit Sigarda's Aid means I get to grab Argentum Armor here and swing in with that. Oh, they have Summoner's Pack to pay for. We might be good. Yeah, the Summoner's Pack might be good for us. Yeah, hopefully armor gets there. I mean, that's not really... That's more of an apathy thing for how long the formats existed. Like, you're just upset that there's a best deck, and that's just how card games work. If you're upset that there's a best deck, you should probably just play something that's not a card game. Card games always have a best deck. That's just the nature of the beast. I'm gonna get Path to Exiled and be sad here. Yeah. Think we're dead. We're probably dead. And then we get Titan and die next turn. We got a 3-2 with our... We got a 3-2 with a deck that I was expecting to 0-3 with, so like... Alright, bye Felicia. Leaving the TCG environment. Hey, Diva, good afternoon. Do they not have a Titan? If they don't have a Titan, we might have a chance. Yep, I got you, Clipsy. This is the part where they're like timing out and then they're gonna come back and play a Titan and we'll die. Don't toy with my emotions like this, opponent. Just kill me so I can play the next deck. The old tank kill you, yep. Probably had something come up in real life. Just how it goes. Yeah, every deck we're playing today contains Stoneforge Mystic. If today goes well, we're going to do some more Modern tomorrow and Friday as well. Although some of those decks will not be Stoneforge Mystic decks. Show me the Titan. Show me the Titan. All right, so we hit a 3-2, which is not bad considering we had real low expectations going in. And something that might surprise some people is that this deck wasn't good because it had Stoneforge Mystic in it. Most of the wins that we got with this deck came from the fact that we were like hammering people with Sigarda's Aid and Puresteel Paladin. The swords were good at a number of points. The fact that Paladin and Sram drew us a bunch of cards were good at a number of points. One thing that Stoneforge Mystic did do, and I think this is something we're going to see in a lot of decks, is the next 3 decks that we're playing all do this. So Stoneforge Mystic is basically a must-answer threat just because it pressures people really quickly. So Stoneforge Mystic is a really sweet addition to all of these decks that like have other cards that they don't want you to kill. So like, for example, in Jeskai Tempo, when you play your Stoneforge on 2 and they kill it, they're then less likely to have a removal spell for your Spell Queller that follows it up. Same thing with Vanifier and Devoted Blade. If they kill your Stoneforge Mystic, they're less likely to have removal spell for your Devoted Druid or your Prime Speaker Vanifier. And just like, by having this critical mass of must-answer threats, your decks just incidentally